2024, a year that began like any other, draped in the promise of new beginnings and the echoes of resolutions past. Little did we know the cosmos held a different plan. A silent sentinel hurtled through the vast expanse, its trajectory set on a collision course with our pale blue planet, a celestial giant harboring the power to reshape Earth as we knew it. For millennia it had slumbered in the cosmic dark, a relic of the early solar system, its orbit undisturbed. This time, however, something had shifted. Perhaps a gravitational nudge from a passing star, a cosmic dance as old as time itself. Whatever the cause, the outcome was clear. Our number was up. The universe often whispers before it roars. It sends subtle warnings, signs of impending upheaval. In the months leading up to the discovery, strange anomalies rippled through our networks of space observation. Telescopes flickered with unexplained interference. Data streams stuttered, spitting out nonsensical readings. These were the first whispers, the harbingers of the catastrophic symphony soon to be unleashed. The universe, it seemed, was winding up for a show, and we, the unwitting inhabitants of a tiny blue marble, were about to have front row seats for it. High atop a Chilean mountain, far from the glare of city lights, a lone astronomer scanned the night sky. Dr. Sofia Ramirez was no stranger to long nights and the patient pursuit of celestial secrets. Tonight, however, felt different. A chill danced down her spine as she focused the observatory's powerful telescope on a seemingly unremarkable patch of the cosmos. She had been reviewing data from an automated survey, a routine task in her nightly ritual of observing the cosmos. But this time something caught her eye, a faint smudge, a fleeting shadow moving against the backdrop of distant stars. It was almost imperceptible, easily dismissed as noise or an anomaly in the data, but something about it, the way it moved, the subtle shift in light, set her pulse racing. Sophia zoomed in, enhancing the image, her heart pounding in her chest. The smudge resolved itself, revealing its true nature. It wasn't a comet, its tail trailing like a cosmic banner, nor was it a rogue planet cast adrift from its star. This was something far more ominous, an asteroid, its surface a jagged, cratered landscape, reflecting the cold, hard glint of the distant sun. The image was stark, undeniable. This was no false alarm. Sophia's discovery sent shockwaves through the global scientific community. Frantic calls were made, data shared and analyzed at breakneck speed. Within hours, observatories around the world had trained their eyes on the celestial interloper, confirming Sophia's terrifying discovery. Panic, like a virus, began to spread. What had been whispered in hushed tones in the corridors of observatories now blared from every news outlet. The world held its breath as scientists raced against time, desperately trying to calculate the asteroid's trajectory, its size, its potential impact. The news was grim. The asteroid, now christened Nemesis by the media, was massive, estimated to be at least 10 kilometers wide, dwarfing the Chicxulub impactor that had wiped out the dinosaurs. And it was on a direct collision course with Earth. As the global community grappled with the news, the world's leading scientists gathered, their faces etched with worry and grim determination. Data poured in from every corner of the globe, painting a clearer picture of the celestial harbinger of doom. Nemesis was a behemoth, a relic from the chaotic early days of the solar system. Its composition, a deadly cocktail of rock, ice, and heavy metals, hinted at the cataclysmic forces that had birthed it. The asteroid's speed was equally terrifying. Traveling at tens of thousands of kilometers per hour, it was hurtling towards Earth with unimaginable kinetic energy. The impact, when it came, would be unlike anything humanity had ever witnessed. The simulations were bleak. Depending on the angle of impact and the precise location of ground zero, the consequences ranged from catastrophic to utterly apocalyptic. The world watched, a mixture of dread and morbid fascination, as the countdown clock ticked away. Section 5. Countdown to annihilation, 3 months, 1 week, 12 hours. The world transformed into a waiting room. Time, once a river flowing at its own pace, became a metronome. Each tick a stark reminder of the impending doom. Governments scrambled, their emergency plans woefully inadequate for a threat of this magnitude. Deep underground bunkers designed to house the elite few were hastily constructed, stark symbols of inequality in the face of annihilation. Society began to fray at the edges. Some embraced religious fervor, seeking solace in the arms of faith. Others succumbed to despair, their hope extinguished by the cold, hard facts. And then there were those who refused to give in, who clung to the belief that even in the face of the impossible, humanity could find a way. Section 6, Ground Zero, the day the sky fell. The day arrived cloaked in an eerie calm. The air crackled with anticipation, a palpable tension hanging heavy in the air. Birds fell silent, animals retreated into hiding as if nature itself sensed the impending doom, and then it began. A blinding flash, brighter than 1,000 suns, illuminated the sky, turning night into an unbearable day. The ground shuddered, a deep, guttural roar rising from the bowels of the earth. A shockwave, traveling at supersonic speed, ripped across the planet, leveling everything in its path. Forests were instantly vaporized, mountains crumbled like sandcastles, and the oceans roiled, unleashing tsunamis that dwarfed anything in recorded history. At the point of impact, a wound opened in the Earth's crust, spewing forth molten rock and superheated gas. The air itself ignited, as billions of tons of debris were blasted into the atmosphere, some escaping the planet's gravity to become celestial wanderers, others destined to rain down upon the Earth in a fiery apocalypse. Section 7. In the wake of Armageddon, a world remade. Silence descended, heavy and absolute. The dust, a suffocating shroud, blotted out the sun, plunging the planet into perpetual twilight. The impact had triggered a chain reaction, awakening dormant volcanoes and unleashing their fiery fury. Earthquakes, their magnitude unlike anything ever recorded, reshaped continents, swallowing cities whole, and creating new mountain ranges where valleys once lay. The oceans, once teeming with life, were now choked with debris, the surface a toxic soup of molten rock, pulverized earth, and the remnants of billions of lives extinguished in an instant. The very air was poisoned, a noxious cocktail of ash, chemicals, and greenhouse gases, making each breath a gamble. This was not the end, not in the traditional sense. This was a new beginning, a brutal reset button pressed on the planet's evolutionary timeline. Section 8. The relentless march of time. Life finds a way. Millennia passed, the dust settled, the planet, scarred and battered, began to heal. The sun, once again a distant glimmer through the haze, nurtured the first tentative signs of life. Deep beneath the surface, in the inky blackness of the ocean depths where the impact's fury had been blunted, life had clung on. Extremophiles, those hardy survivors of the harshest conditions, found a foothold, their DNA adapting to the toxic environment. On land, spores and seeds carried on the wind from distant, untouched corners of the globe found fertile ground. Nature, tenacious and unyielding, began the slow, arduous process of rebuilding. New ecosystems emerged, strange and alien to our eyes. Creatures, their forms shaped by the harsh realities of this new world, evolved. Some thrived in the perpetual twilight, others in the scalding heat of volcanic vents. Life, it seemed, had found a way. Section 9. Could we survive humanity's last stand? But what of humanity? In the face of such overwhelming devastation, could our species, for all its ingenuity and resilience, have survived? The answer, as with most things in science, is not a simple yes or no. It is a question of probability, of chance, of the remarkable adaptability of life itself. Deep underground, in the shelters built to weather the apocalypse, pockets of survivors might have clung to existence. Their world, a claustrophobic labyrinth of steel and concrete, would have been a pale shadow of the one they left behind. But it would have been a world, nonetheless, a chance to rebuild, to carry the torch of human consciousness into an uncertain future. Perhaps in the generations that followed, they would have emerged blinking into the sunlight of a changed world. Their history, a cautionary tale whispered from generation to generation, a reminder of the universe's indifference and the fragility of their own existence.